Hey, everybody. Welcome to a session with Chillin with Chet, where I have some guys in town. They called me, a couple weeks ago. They had an idea to come out and have a good time with me. They are the SXSBlog Guys. Minus one, he's off getting married right now. His name is Doug. He's obviously a big part of your group. He couldn't be here today. He's on his honeymoon, right?
Honeymoon. Deal's
right.
done.
Yes. So the guys texted me and said, hey, we have this idea. And while Daddy's away, we're going to play.
While Daddy's away. Well, when Dougie's away, the boys will play.
That's what they say.
I agree.
That was actually said in a video. So
Yeah,
right.
I mean, that's a fact.
And so it was just so funny that they hit me up. They had come out before. We went to the dunes and as a big group like we always do. And during that time, we got to know each other like kind of. We've been around each other, but for real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I invited you guys out to my house after the dunes.
Great.
And then I met you at the gate. Do you remember that moment?
Oh, I remember that moment very well.
On your electric bike thing. What the hell was that?
It was my Segway bike.
Beautiful bike.
And I have a couple fake guns that look very real, and I put it in my back belt loop, and I was basically saying this neighborhood's not safe, and I got to watch out. And I had this whole idea just to scare them that I had this gun in my back pocket, and I carry it with me everywhere in this community. You never know.
Yeah.
And Trump had just got unelected. Biden got in, whatever his name is, and that was the first introduction. I was really going to scare you guys.
Yeah, I was definitely concerned that our 80-some foot worth of trailer was going to disappear from here.
Yeah, it's quite the ghetto. It's quite the ghetto in here. Yeah, yeah. So that was like when you guys came in. That's pretty normal for me to fuck with new people, and
I like it.
Yeah,
It's a great introduction.
yeah. That's good, and that was a great way to bring you in. And then after that, we went out, and I quickly realized you guys had a secret addiction to supercars.
It's a lifelong addiction.
Yeah. It's real top secret.
So here's something I haven't told anybody. I have a bet with a guy who I don't talk to anymore that by the age of 40, I'd have a Lamborghini.
Wow.
$100.
Really?
Yep.
Are you saying that out loud just now?
This is the first time.
I've never heard that before in my
Wow.
life.
How much time do we have?
34 and a half, so we got 5.5 years. We're on track. I feel like we're on track to make it work, but I don't know. Who's to say?
2012 Volt on hand right now. I mean, it's ramping up.
Big come up, though.
I have that down the road to figure out what your dailies are. Unfortunately,
Rick just blew it. Unbelievable.
actually, I didn't have that question, but I thought, that's a good one. I should ask your dailies.
It's a good question.
You'll see that I kind of have a loose schedule here, but it's fairly loose, and that's about it. But I also, let's just go through and introduce yourselves. So we have down here all the way to the end.
All the way to the end. Big guy, tall guy. Fupa. Some people call me King Fupa. Some people call me Nick.
And?
A lot of people call me Leo just because his name's Nick and he's better on video.
Right.
But yeah, Nick Leonard, dude, Bay City, Michigan, SXSBlog. Came up with it a long time ago. Met this guy and known Rick forever, known Doug for a long time.
Sweet.
And really came together.
And you guys all live up in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We all kind of know that. So next in line we have, we all call you Seuss, but it's Nick Seuss.
Nick Seuss. First name Nick, last name Seuss. Just in case.
Just so people know.
A lot of people call me Zeus. I don't like that.
It's like the doctor.
It's like the doctor, just spelt like the
like the chef.
Like the chef. If you watch Food Network, you'll know. If you don't, then you don't know.
I'm a little warm in here, guys. I'm gonna get the. Let's see here. Let's see if I can drop the AC down. I don't know. We also have a secret squirrel over there. We won't name him yet, but I don't know if he knows how to do the nest over there down the hall. Just kind of twist it to maybe a cool 69. That'd be kind of nice.
Ooh. Shoot, I can do that.
Yeah, okay.
Shoot.
Where'd that voice come from?
I don't know.
Where did that come from?
Black magic.
And finally, we have. Well, I've been calling you White Boy Rick, but
I'm from Michigan. My name's Rick. I mean, 2 and 2 equals 100. So
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, my name's Rick. Some people call me Rich.
Oh yeah, why do they call you Rich?
Oh.
Why is that?
It's like alternate ego, secret identity.
Yeah,
It's just a different character that comes.
when you're all hopped up, maybe on M&Ms.
M&M's, Mountain Dew, maybe. I don't know. Probably peanut M&M's. I've got a few of these here. Rich might make an appearance on this podcast.
Rick made it a requirement to have the fucking M&M's today, and he had a 15-pound bag. I don't even know
how big. It was 2 pounds 6 ounces. Okay, it was $15. Get your numbers.
Oh yeah, it was a $15 bag. I've never seen a $15 bag.
Chet goes yesterday when we're at the gas station picking these out. You couldn't settle for the one that's only 16 ounces? No. Couldn't do it.
He looked at me like I was a fucking moron. Let's just say that. So,
why would you say that? How dare you?
Why would you say that? So yeah, and then Nick interjected and goes, "Yeah, that's basically how I got fat."
Yeah, no, college.
Yeah, college. That you would eat them all the time.
I mean, it's a quick story. Turns out they have this thing where you can go and get money with your ID.
Mm-hmm.
In college. I didn't know that. Turns out I'm just actually financing my own fatness because that's a loan. I didn't know that.
It's a true deep addiction to these peanut M&Ms.
Yeah, I just go to Walmart with like the $300 they would give me and then just sit on my laptop watching bigboys.com, now break.com.
Oh.
This is way before.
Okay, got you.
And then eat peanut M&Ms, dude. It's not good. I had like those big ones that you get for Christmas, those bags.
Yeah.
Mouse in the right hand, peanut M&Ms in the left hand, dude.
Just going at it. Just that college life. It hasn't caught up to you though. You look fantastic.
I appreciate that, man. I feel like
I just want to let you know that. You may feel like shit, but you look fucking fantastic.
I don't know about that.
I
See
love
these eye bags, dude?
I still love you.
Looks like I have Crohn's disease.
Crohn's, dude?
These guys are really hard on
clean,
themselves.
Google Chrome.
They're very good looking dudes, I will say.
Thank you.
Now,
thank you. Appreciate it.
The other thing that, I have a few things we'll get into here, but I was thinking about these guys can really, like, I've been trying to lose a little bit of weight. I've been trying to go to the gym here. That's out of the question. Yeah. And
oh no,
they've been asking me what are the best buffets in town.
Oh yeah.
Now, I haven't been to a buffet. Well, Vegas. The Wynn's a good one. We all agree on that.
Yep.
But they've been wanting a buffet. So last night we went out to the casino, and it was basically, let's just order everything as much as we can. I had a good credit there. I said, let's just blow it on that. And these guys can put down some food.
It was DIY.
It's incredible.
DIY buffet.
Yeah. And I said, what are we going to do with our leftovers? I'm literally planning out where my leftovers are going to go, because we're going to go gambling after. And I'm thinking, I hate carrying around my leftovers because that's my life.
Right.
That's what I go through. And what did you guys say?
You went. You think they have a fridge to put the leftovers? I'm like, fucking leftovers.
No, I said, do you think we can leave it up here?
Right. No.
So we don't have to drag it around. And you said, did you say leftovers are for pussies?
Yeah.
or something of that nature.
I mean, I was speaking for the group, I feel.
Yes.
Right? Like,
I hadn't thought about leftovers in like a decade. I don't even know what leftovers are, man.
Maybe it was leftovers are for quitters. Is that what it was?
That's just not a concept I know about.
I think you guys got a little tip off if you paid attention to when you first got here. I took you out to eat.
Oh yeah.
I literally threw 1/4 of the club sandwich.
Oh yeah.
After you guys had your wings and the appetizers, and I'm through the 1/4 of the sandwich, and then I look out, and you guys are done. There's napkins and all the utensils all over the plates. They are fucking done.
Well, this philosophy we have, it goes beyond 2-pound bags of peanut M&Ms. Like, our shop has a McDonald's within like 150 feet of walking distance.
Well, you have a truck named
McMega.
Mega McDonald. What is it?
McMega,
and you have a pond named
Quarter Pounder Pond. McDonald's, where you at?
You can't make this shit up. McDonald's, where you at?
At McDonald's.
I do know a guy that knows a guy that owns some McDonald's.
Really?
But yeah.
What? You know Rick Rock?
Not that guy.
Okay.
Another guy. He's through the Jimmy John family. I don't know if you guys ever. Oh, I'll talk about it later.
Jimmy's John's?
Yeah. Jimmy's
I like John.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the good family to be friends with. Now, I got to ask you guys. Let me just ask you, whoever wants to answer. Like, when you thought Doug's away, boys are gonna play. Why Uncle Chet's house? Like, where did this whole idea come from?
For me, it was the about 8-foot pile of parts that we have sitting in our shop. That's all for your razor. And I'm a big organization guy, and I've been looking at this pile for approximately 2 months now. And I'm just dreaming of other stuff that I can put here. And I also like hanging out with you. I mean, we had a great time when we came out here in
After the
December,
dunes, yeah.
and I knew that you were having some struggles with the logistics of getting your machine up to us. So, I mean, I put 2 and 5 together, came up with 14, and said, "Hey, we got to get out there."
Sense. So, was it your idea, Rick? Like, where did the original thought come from? Was you?
Yeah, these guys were scheming. And so, okay, when we have a bad idea, typically we run it by the people who enjoy bad ideas, me and Rick. Nick doesn't like bad ideas. I mean, he's okay with bad ideas.
Oh, yeah, I usually fold.
Yeah.
I'll tell him
Okay.
But we got to pass it through Doug. It's
Right.
Like the big holdups, passing it through Doug.
That was the big backup.
But when Doug's gone, he's removed out of the equation.
Right.
He is gone.
Right.
So they're scheming, and then I hear didn't you just like call my name? Leo!
I was in the office. Well, Richard brings me into the corner. He goes, "I've got the best idea. I have the best idea." He tells me the idea. I realize immediately. I almost never say yes to anything he tells me right off the bat. It's usually like, dude, it's not a great idea. Tells me the idea. It's so good. I scream, Leo, just screaming, Leo!
That's what I heard.
At the top
He's
of my
got a
lungs.
good one. It's a good
Comes in
one.
the office.
Yeah, I look at my head in the office. They're scheming in the corner around Nick's desk, which is already too small just for Nick. And then when it's Nick and Rick are on the desk, I'm like, damn, these guys got a really good idea. And I get one of these, like a little Rick stiff arm over here. And they're like, all right, listen, hear me out. And they're trying to talk me into it. I don't need to be talked into going anywhere.
Yeah.
I enjoy this shit.
Yeah.
But when Rick told me, it was like a bomb went off in my head.
Right. Made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Made a lot of sense. I wouldn't have guessed it. Like, I was hoping you guys would like have some event maybe out here, maybe that you would fall into something and make an excuse to come back through, like you had some desert thing with the side-by-sides. Because everywhere you guys go, you bring like 15 side-by-sides, it seems like.
Yeah.
Like you bring the whole truck and trailer. Right. So for you guys to call me and say that, I'm down. Hell yeah. You guys, when you guys came out last time, I thought, these are good dudes. I kind of knew you, but then I got to know you a lot better then. I got to know you really well now. And I was thinking, hell yeah, let's come out. Let's do this. I have some other ideas for some other adventures I've been wanting to do with you guys down the road. So for this to happen, anytime. And I was super excited. And I was thinking though, because I haven't put much out at this point on YouTube, like all the videos out, but my social media has kind of been, very Uncle Chet-ish. If you have that, it's rated R. I'd say it's pretty rated R, and your channel is pretty PG. So I was surprised, but then I was also very happy and impressed that you guys could look through all that and say, you know what, we know them, we know what's going to happen, we know we can have a good time, And if people don't understand, who gives a shit? Right. Once they see us all hanging out, what we're up to, they're going to see that it's a good time out there that for all to see. All this stuff that we've been up to this whole entire time has been a great thing. So, and when I started putting the new stuff out, I was a little worried, like guys like yourself, like, are you guys going to give it a chance? Are you really going to watch it through and really check it out? And apparently you guys have been. So that's kind of cool too. It's nice to hear that you guys have been checking it out, checking out the show stuff.
Yeah. No, it's fun. And I think too, for me, like it doesn't take much, but a nice conversation around a campfire, which I think it was, highly alcohol influenced. But you and I talked for a little bit in Glamis, and I'm like, dude, Chet's just a good guy. Yeah. Like,
thank you.
A lot of the people that we surround ourselves with are good people, and then the shit just leaves automatically. Right?
Yeah.
So to attract more good people is kind of rare these days.
Right.
So
no, it's been good. There's definitely a reason why it all came together and why the last few days has been so much fun. We have a little bit more fun to have. A couple more days, and then, kind of cap it off. But it has been, I've thought that when you guys came out here for the one day, how much you guys appreciated it. That's big for me, So if I'm going to open up the house and we're going to do those types of things, I've always noticed that in your guys' videos, how appreciative and how good you guys are. All of you guys are, Doug, everybody, and how, just good all around dudes. And that's a big draw. I think a lot of your fans that are going to watch this, a lot of my fans that are going to watch this is what people like to see. I like to see good stuff like that. I like to see good dudes just being good dudes, and there's no weird angle, there's no weird drama going on. It's just cool shit that guys like to see, know, and it's good for the young generation to also just see that type of stuff. I think.
Yeah.
We're all very cognizant of the fact that we are where we are because of the people that have gotten us here,
Right.
People that have watched us do what we do and have supported us along the way. So it only makes sense to me to show appreciation to those people, whether it's someone that's viewing the videos or someone that's gone out of their way to help us out in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
So,
it really comes through with your videos. People, I think that's definitely a big draw. Whatever you guys think it is, that's a big thing that keeps people coming back.
Right.
Because of you guys are very genuine.
Yeah.
The whole group. So
I think too, like I've been approached by people who maybe are not as genuine about their intentions with their
Right.
branding or whatever. And, if I was you guys, I'd be, puking your name everywhere. And like, we don't do that. We don't do any paid advertising, really. We don't
Right.
have our logo all over everything. Like we have shirts that we enjoy, but
Mm-hmm.
but past that, like it's really just this thing that's on borrowed time and we're trying to make the best of it.
yeah, and you guys are all very committed to this whole thing too. So that was nice because you guys know me. I'm super pot committed to this whole thing now. I mean, I've transformed this part of my house, and it's all I think about. It's all I live, eat, and breathe right now. So for you guys to come out right now is a really special time for me, and I'm super happy that you guys were here during the beginning, and then we can have like a dope ass relationship as we go forward, like the stuff we were just bullshitting about in the other room with the trucks and some other stuff we want to do, besides the side-by-side stuff, that we're always going to probably do, and the glamorous things that we're going to do. So I'm super excited for the future of this stuff and guys like you coming on the show. So I also really just want to get into some cool stuff that I have some questions for you, some basic stuff, kind of where did you guys all, we've talked about this, but let the viewers know, like what was the genesis of SXSBlog?
Real tough one, man. I think it's a combination of an opportunity and a timing. So, if you're not in the side-by-side, you don't understand, but like the industry really didn't put out good machines until probably 2012 is when
I totally agree. So was it the 800 or the 900?
Probably the XP 900 was like the first real good
Yeah,
machine.
I agree.
Articat
The
had
swing
their
arm.
Wildcat, which was a cool machine, but it was actually a piece of shit.
Yeah,
I
it
had
looked
3
cool.
of them. Real, that's a bad time of my life. But
I just realized his daily driver too. Like
come on, man.
I'm sorry. I'm
hitting them hard.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry. Okay, go back. You've had 3 Wildcats.
That's not really part of the.
So
genesis
beyond
of
that,
SXSBlog.
next.
Right. So like, and I've told this story a few times. So basically, like, I would sleuth the internet to try to find like patents or hidden information on websites for machines that are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I found one on a Yamaha machine, and then just put it out there. And someone else took it and made a forum based on it. And I'm like, man, this dude's like really capitalizing on what I found.
Right.
And so I sleuthed some more and found a patent for the Yamaha YXZ, which was
Wow.
a big machine that came out in 2015 as a 2016 model.
Yeah, that was early. I didn't even as a normal guy that's had the Razor stuff. I didn't know about it till it came out. So that's
Right.
way early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was really early, and it was the first machine that had like a true 5-speed. It wasn't CVT.
Yeah,
no belt.
yeah, that tranny.
It was Yamaha's entry into the sport market, which was great. It was radical looking for the time, and I had this information, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna start a website. Like, and the inspiration was like Jalopnik auto blog style stuff, and so took these patents, put our SXSBlog.com logo on them, which is just the Verdana font in bold italic.
Yeah.
Still is to this
Yeah.
day. And
For the nerds that know what that means.
Right.
I mean, it's
Fucking
just
know
a
that
font.
means.
It's just a standard Microsoft font. Anyway, and then put it out there, and it blew up. Like, I think it got like 60, 70,000 hits on the site in a few days, which was big for a brand new site. People thought it was a plant from Yamaha, or Yamaha gave it to us to leak
Right.
or
elite.
whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, okay, I'm really going to start like producing this content on SXSBlog.com.
It was so hot then.
Yeah, it was super hot.
Yeah.
But turns out, like, this isn't like the car industry. There isn't like information coming out all the time. There's not new stuff coming out all the time. There's not prototypes running around in the desert all the time. And so the creative energy like died off. And so I'm thinking, all right, we're working on these side-by-sides. I had bought one, Doug bought one. And I'm just gonna, and at this point, Rick had one, And I'm just going to document what we're doing on these things.
And the three of you were friends during that whole time.
No.
Okay.
So me, Doug, and Rick were friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was videoing things, but put it on a different channel. And I wasn't really editing the video or anything, not doing any commentary, just kind of putting clips out there. But I figured, all right, we'll start this SXSBlog YouTube channel. And turns out, like, the difference from the website to the YouTube was huge. It's just us being idiots, like absolute, so stupid. And like,
No filter.
Right.
Like, just raw, 100%
Yeah.
raw.
The early days. Yeah.
yeah, raw idiocy. And and what was kind of funny about it is that our first video was actually the first time we met Nick Seuss.
Right. That's what I wanted to get to. So you guys, I'm saying not you three, but I'm saying you guys and Doug were the three that were friends, and that's a deeper story. But at that point, and then you decided to go for a ride and really start filming the rides, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
In like a documentative style thing. Like we'll talk to the camera. We'll not necessarily vlog it first person, but we'll talk to the camera like we're talking to somebody. And I think that's when it really changed in the content creation, is like really speaking to the person who's watching.
Right. And then you invited old Seuss out. How did he get invited? Through friends, or how was that?
Yeah, I work with a guy named Nate who was best friends with Nick, and he had dropped Nick's name for years leading up to this. But Nick was
this
like,
guy's cool.
Yeah, like Doug used to host these off-road racing events at his house, like just drag racing, and this guy Nate was like, "Oh, my friend Nick Seuss wants to come out, but he's too scared." And I'm like, "All right, I don't know who Nick Seuss is." And so Nate invited him to go on this ride with us, and I don't want to leave anything out.
I just love the first impression of Seuss. And what did you say? What did you say? What was he wearing?
So all right, so just the full story. Nate dropped out of the ride, told Nick to go. Nick's like, "I ain't meeting up with these guys," but goes anyway. I don't understand why.
Yeah,
he was
don't
compelled.
know these dudes.
I just
Kind of
got
awkward.
that machine. Like, I just got this machine, right? Like,
What was it? What was the machine?
2014 900 XP.
Okay.
I was very jacked about it,
Yeah,
but I had
yeah.
nobody to ride with. Like, no, at the time, they were harder to get, right?
Yeah,
We were all
yeah.
younger. We didn't have as much,
Oh, they remember how expensive they shot up.
so
It was like,
expensive.
oh my God, they're $15,000 or whatever.
So, like,
Right.
my brother helped me get that one, so I got this one. Well, here's the problem: I have nobody to ride with. And my buddy Nate's like, "Dude, you got to ride with these guys from work. Like, you got to ride with them." I'm like, "Okay." And I thought he was gonna go with me.
Right.
Calls me the day before.
He bails.
I shot a deer. I got to track this deer.
That's so Nate, dude.
I'm like, dude, I don't know them. Like, I don't want. I'm not gonna just go meet these random dudes at a gas station and go ride with them. But I
Yeah.
did. I ended up going.
Yeah. And then did you go by yourself?
I went by myself.
Okay. And did you like take a shower and like do your hair and like think about what you were gonna wear, like your shirt?
Absolutely not,
And
dude. So I used to. I had these. No, I didn't do any of that. I woke up that morning and go, "Fuck! I have to meet these dudes today." But also,
Right.
I was pretty excited because I wanted to freaking ride trails.
yeah.
So
No, I get it.
So it's me, Doug, and Rick. I don't remember the trailering situation, but we roll up at like one of these random mobiles in BFE, and
I actually stopped to take a dump. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
My stomach hurt.
Yeah.
I didn't know that part of the story.
These guys really
Funny
testing
story.
my toilets. If you guys know my toilets,
But
they've
hey,
been
for
getting
life.
the work in this whole week.
Totally, thanks. So I roll up, and I don't know what I'm looking at. It's like a 07. Is it a Tahoe or a Yukon?
2007 GMC Yukon.
Blacked out
Blacked out. She was denalied out.
Debadged.
Debadged.
on 26s.
Lowered.
Yeah. Yes.
2-3 kit, baby. Beltec.
Lowered on 26s, towing a trailer that's roughly the same value as one of the tires on the 26s. We're talking full rust, piece of shit, boards loose.
Yeah.
But
With a brand new top of the line.
Yeah, really nice XP900.
XP900, 15. What were those? Do you remember they're 15? They were. I
ended up
remember they
buying it.
creeping up to 20
Yeah.
by then.
Yeah, like the dude wanted I think the
Yeah.
dude wanted like 15 something for it.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
got him
nice.
down to like $12,000 because I brought my brother, dude, master negotiator. Dude.
nice.
He pays full price for nothing.
I remember you were really jacked. I think you sold it for more than you paid
I am,
for
and
it.
I ended up selling.
You're
it for more
definitely the
than-
guy I would guess that could do that. And my favorite part of the description and why he's wearing my Louis Vuitton gold chain is they described him wearing this gold chain. And then as soon as they told me that story like last night or whatever, I was like, I got the perfect chain for you to go to the casino and go eat. And he's basically
This has been a great chain.
been wearing it ever since.
A lot of luck. This is the actual chain I was wearing.
Yeah,
when
but
I
it's
met-
so
I'm still
small.
wearing it.
It's so small, just a normal little
They
chain.
were scared. I don't know. Man.
Yeah, so
But in their mind, it was so exaggerated. It was this big, huge chain. Right? I love it.
I'm not used to seeing that. So he gets out of this thing with 26s. He's got Oakleys on. His hair is slicked back, which I now realize is probably grease.
And then it was actually
Nice.
greasy.
Nice.
And then the Jesus chain. And I was
Nice.
thinking, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Is this the right guy?
And the best part about it is that you guys were, you guys went out all day. You told me this and you just immediately linked up, and then that was it. Like you always wanted to go riding together. Like, I've had those experiences. I was at the dunes, I met these side-by-side guys, and then I wanted to have them at my house.
You just
and then next thing you know, you're back here again, and you just keep on going.
Yeah.
And that again is a testament that you guys are good dudes. Keep that you're transparent. You are who you say you are, and that's why those guys you're always going to attract those good people. You're going to get the ones come and go, but it's a good quality, and it's kind of neat to see that. And as you're telling me that story, it all makes sense now. And I just thought the fans that are going to watch this need to hear that whole law of attraction. Just being good dudes and shit works out. So it's pretty cool to hear that. And then that was the first video that you shot.
Yeah.
You kind of explained, why the side-by-side stuff. So it was the Yamaha. I remember when that Yamaha was going to come out that we all thought it was going to be turboed. Do you know why they've never done that? Because wasn't it in a
snowmobile.
a snowmobile, and it was turboed in the snowmobile, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Why do you think they never turboed it?
I think it's so the Rhino when it came out way back, there was a lawsuit
Oh.
around deaths or injuries that occurred from that. And so Doug had this theory, sorry, Doug, you're not here, that basically they came out with this machine underpowered, it was still like 110 horsepower or whatever, pretty decent, but it was a manual first. But they came out with like a sequential with an auto clutch later, but they co-designed them at the same time. So the entry into the market with a manual was basically to make it so if you can't drive this machine.
Oh, to keep the amateurs away from it.
Right.
Okay.
Which I think actually hurt its success.
Right.
Honestly, because people were complaining that, first gear is too tall and needs a reduction, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But realistically, it's a good machine. You just can't drive it if you can't.
And have they changed the geometry of that Yamaha much since?
Tiny bit.
It seems like it's kind of the same setup.
Yeah.
As just a general consumer, I've always thought like it was I don't know if it's a one-hit wonder, if they're really going to come out with something else. I mean, have you heard any rumors?
Yeah, there's
for the
like
side-by-side guys.
like a trailing arm unit coming out, more travel. They have like a patent with one that has a turbo.
Yeah, it kind of has the rear setup like the 800, which was just a double, like an A-arm type setup.
Yeah, it's a super weird geometry in the rear. It's like a trailing A arm. It's super weird.
Yeah.
But it's still just like a control arm in the back. It's not really a trailing arm.
And you guys have built one. I've seen one. I remember the first. Well, I really started watching you guys. I'll just say, it's through Cletus, and he. I think he was up in. I don't know. The one that stands out the most is up in Silver Lake. Is that where it's at? The dunes and the water where I want to go skip water sometime.
Oh yeah, we'll do that.
And yeah, that looks so much fun up there. And I remember. I think you were a little hesitant, and he just got on it and just ripped the yellow one, the Yamaha, right?
Yeah, Garrett's a big manual guy. So that really spoke to him,
Yeah, I mean, he killed it. I mean, I just remember that's the impression that I had. It really stuck with me when you guys let him, go out and rip your rides, So that was pretty cool. So that one, what's been done to that one, just in general,
Yeah, Doug did a motor build on that one, so it's just rods and pistons, and then a decent sized turbo. It right now makes like 330 to the tire.
And it's still going. You still have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same machine. Like
Yeah.
bushings and everything, brakes, like nothing's changed. Like it's still pretty tight, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one
held up.
just put Motec on it, so it's got a standalone ECU. I'm not a big YXZ guy, but I know the 2016, I think specifically, or maybe all of them, the factory ECU is extremely limited, and Doug spent a lot of time trying to fight issues with that to get the tune working semi-remotely okay.
Right.
And yeah,
There's just probably not. I didn't even. So Motec makes stuff for side by sides.
Yeah.
Motec's
Oh, I had
big in
no
the
idea.
game. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they do a lot of stuff with the YXZ and also the X3
Interesting.
Can-Am.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's bad.
So then moving on, we'll just kind of go into that. So what else is like in the lineup right now that you guys are ripping for, like maybe my fans that are, your fans yet, and they, you guys have a lot of pretty cool rides. So I think right now you have a raffle for Battlefield. What's Battlefield? What was that one? Give me the whole breakdown on that one.
Yeah, so back in 2018, we did a demo ride with Polaris on these new Turbo S machines, which is like their first 72-inch wide side-by-side out in the desert, and we ended up getting 2 of them. And so Nick's had one since 2018, Doug's had one since 2018. Doug's kind of turned into this custom blue-painted machine. And the name Battlefield comes from an event that we did back in, I think, 2016 or 2017 at one of these like 4-wheel jamboree-style events. And they actually, Doug raced, and they announced his name as Doug Battlefield, which was, I think, awesome.
Yeah,
That's a dope ass
it
last
was
name.
super
Yeah,
tight.
sweet.
What is Doug's last name?
It's Butterfield.
It's Butterfield.
Just one letter off.
So close. So close. Same thing.
And his
Battlefield
names are
Butterfield.
kind of weird, so it could have been. He could have.
If anybody's name is going to be Butterfield, I thought it would be you.
I mean, after spending,
He's
the time,
quite the butter connoisseur. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Big
you
butter
can
guy.
you get to know him later and find out why. So Battlefield, that's where it came from a mispronunciation of his name. That's
Yeah,
funny.
pretty wild. And so we kind of took that in stride, and we did a bunch of like custom stickers on it. He painted it like this custom Ford color, which is the same color as his truck. He got seats with Battlefield in them. Built a bunch of cool stuff for it. And then, it's kind of time to move on with that machine.
Yeah, it's been around a while. I've seen it for quite a while. It's got a lot of power, doesn't it? Like
Yeah, it's got a big turbo.
Yeah.
Makes like 260 horsepower. So
And you're doing the raffle thing.
yeah, we're doing a giveaway on it. And so, I guess we basically just gave people 2 weeks to buy a certain series of limited time merch. And like every $10 you spend, big diesel power sellers.
Right.
Here.
Yeah, they kind of started all that. Yeah.
Right. And but it works, it's a cool thing. It allows people to get limited time merch and also a chance to win the machine.
When is it? When's the expiration? Like, how long can they buy for it? Because I'm thinking when we're gonna drop this, if we get it out in time.
Literally Tuesday.
Oh,
It was only
well,
2 week window.
congratulations, whoever won it. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is not coming out by Tuesday.
What's been one of the most cool things about doing this though is like, so when people buy something or whatever, they can add a custom note or something, and there's been so many people that have said they don't even have a side by side, but they watch our stuff or they've been watching for a long time, and I mean I think that's pretty interesting to know that we do enough cool or interesting stuff to entertain people who don't even
can't afford it. It's very expensive.
No, it is.
Super
It's
expensive.
so expensive.
It is. It's
Those rides and the amount you guys put the work into them, and you guys, you have your sponsorships and your parts and stuff like that. My God, they're so expensive now. You know, $50,000 for a good build. I mean, really, for a really good build.
Yeah.
And the stock stuff's amazing. But stuff like that is very expensive. So that is kind of cool that you guys get to see. That you have these fans that don't even have it. They're just daydreaming and watching the channel. That's kind of cool. And so what else we got? We have the let's talk about your ride. You have, it was mainly what I think your rear ride. What were you riding at the dunes?
I have a 2019 Can-Am X3 XRS. Has Evolution Power Sports, big turbo on it on E85.
The beast.
Yeah, it was 355 horsepower.
And factory, it was what?
172. So more
Doubles.
Than, doubles.
You got to double it.
Yeah. So it was extremely fast. Unfortunately, the day before we were looking to go down to Florida for one of Cletus's events, I was doing some clutch tuning on it and blew it up. I thought that we had just exceeded the mechanical limits of the parts. It was running like 35 pounds of boost. from the factory. I think they're like 17.
Mm-hmm.
But turns out what had happened was basically a failed vacuum hose. So the vacuum hose that went between the compressor housing on the turbo and the boost solenoid that tells the wastegate to open basically just split. So it was, just
Did it get hot or something to melt back around the turbo side, or why?
I think that was probably why. It's right above like the exhaust manifold, so heat could have played a factor.
Dried it out,
was
maybe too.
Split pretty big, but
that's crazy.
Yeah, that it was
a
pretty
little
wild.
Achilles heel there.
Yeah, it broke the ringland on one of the pistons, which is.
But I remember, man, you were ripping. I'm so impressed with the X3s, just the power. And Cletus has one, JH has one, you have that one, and they're insanely strong. And I know you've done quite a bit of work to theirs too, but I mean, like insane. They're durable. I mean, we see his channel. They're always out ripping them. You were ripping the entire time. I don't think you had any problems at the dunes last year, did you? Really? Nothing big, at least.
No, the only thing I had an issue with is I was checking the coolant in it, and there's like a little fitting on the top of it that's plastic, or on the top of the coolant reservoir it's plastic, and I hit that with my hand as I was trying to get the cap off of it, and it broke. So unfortunately, his machine blew up earlier, and it turned into the parts unit, so I robbed his coolant reservoir off of it and kept on ripping.
Were you there for that when it blew up? Mm-mm. Oh, man. Yeah, that was right when the whole Cletus crew showed up. I was ripping with my friend Brian, and this is like a 550 horsepower build, giant turbo, all sorts of crazy stuff, and just did the longest, stupidest pull and just blew it up. And I knew it was going to happen. I mean...
Is that the one you guys had to all pulled apart and the head was pulled apart? What ride was that? What was that one?
So that's like my original X3. That's Beast Mode X3, which was sort of like a weird.
I don't know that one very well. I don't think.
So that was like the turning point for our channel in 2017. So I
what color is it? What describe it? Because yours is very distinct in Battlefield and Jurassic and all the what I can't.
So mine's gone through a ton of evolution. So it was black on black when it started, and then I got a white cage and white suspension on it, and then now it's just got just a big SXSBlog logo on the side. It's just got stock 64-inch suspension on it because it's a lot lighter.
Right. I think the one that I most know you for is the real jacked up one, and apparently you're really afraid of spiders. What
a transition!
I don't know if anybody really knew about this spider, this arachnophobia that you have. We definitely need to talk about that one. Let's clip to that.
Oh my God! Whoa! Whoa! We gotta get the out of here. The spider's in the water. Hear it! Hurry up! It's like this big. Come on! Did you see how big that spider was?
Very, very scared of spiders.
I'm gonna delete that video before you can get the clip.
I love that video so much. That literally was one of the top for me. All your videos,
dude. That moment. I mean,
you guys are bogging deep. What's that one called? The high lifter?
So that's
what's it called?
Yeah, that's a Ranger XP1000 high lifter that we call Mud Life.
So how do you get it that high? I don't even know. Like, what is it? A lift kit?
Yeah, this company High Lifter makes all sorts of crazy stuff. So when you get giant tires, it ends up hitting the fender wells, so they have to use what's called forward A-arms. So it actually moves where the knuckle and tire and everything.
The whole geometry, the whole front end.
Yeah, so it makes the car longer. And you got jacked up arms. The biggest thing is portals, which is basically just a box that your CV goes into. There's a gear to gear.
Oh, it does.
Of it. Yeah.
Oh shit, that's nice.
So do we have 8-inch portals on it now or 6? I think they're 8s.
Yeah, we got new ones.
Yeah, I mean,
how expensive is something like that? If someone to do, I mean, because portal gears and all that stuff, that sounds kind of expensive.
It's probably like a $12,000 build on top of the cost of the car.
Wow. Okay.
Like pretty expensive, and we run 38s on it with 22-inch wheels. Like they're just agricultural style.
Yeah, those big. What are those? Like the big deep groove.
Yeah,
I guess
agricultural.
Yeah,
like the mutter tires.
Yeah.
And it's Mud Life, and so it's stock motor, stock everything, stock air intake, which is just a regular snorkel that leaks all the time.
I just love how deep you got in the grass.
Yeah, so stupid.
That's just every time I think about it. I actually, when we went to the dunes, I know you know now, but I had all these ideas to have like. I was gonna drop I had fishing line. I was gonna drop spiders on you with my drone. I was gonna just drop it in camp just for my own entertainment, just to see how scared you really were of spiders.
So there's I will admit this, okay? There was an influence that day, which apparently heightens my fear of spiders. It comes from the mountains,
Right?
It's called bush light.
Oh, when you get buzzed up.
Apparently, spiders are terrifying. I didn't know this. Normally, I'll be the tough guy. I'll kill the spider, whatever. I'm not happy about it. But that day, that spider, who knows? It's Florida.
It wasn't one spider. Apparently, it was lots of spiders.
This spider was fucking huge, dude. It was probably not big, but at the time, it was huge.
Yeah.
I was scared as shit.
And I was, but really about that, the high lifter. What do you call that one?
Mud life.
Mud life. I've always been really impressed, like how well that thing really does. And does it come with a snorkel on it too, or does did they come that way? The range is the Ranger, right?
Yeah. So Nick and I actually went to like a high lifter park in Louisiana. That was awesome.
That was super awesome.
Yeah.
Like
So it was designed for stuff like that.
Yeah. So like, you know, Polaris has their regular lineup, and then they have like their high lifter lineup, which is all pretty much set up for, like, it has snorkels and everything. Comes with like mud style tires.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to go down to their like testing grounds or like proving grounds and just destroy machines.
Oh, like their private area.
This was like before it was open to the public.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay, yeah.
now open to the public.
That's cool.
Yep. So we got to drive actually a Razor, a Sportsman, frickin'
I think we drove the Ranger at one
Ranger. Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
But we just
Destroyed them.
Destroyed
How
it.
fun is
Destroyed
that?
them.
They don't
it was
care.
so much fun.
They're doing a little R&D probably.
What
R&D,
I
ripping,
what I
dipping.
heard.
Yep.
What I
Ripping
heard
and dipping.
was that dealers were then buying these as demos after. I didn't know this until after.
That's a little cringy, huh? That you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that.
Like,
they sold these.
We were finding this hole, and like we were just seeing how far we could get water over the dash, and then just sit there with it running. Like,
But they held up. It was so
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Like the car
Impressive.
was underwater. You could see Leo's head, the snorkels, and the cage, and
that's it.
And for me, I know the Razors, the XP Pros, and all the other and the Turbo S's and all that stuff. And I never would think of Polaris that had one for swamping and all that stuff. So when I saw that, now that I'm actually hearing that, because I know the Can-Ams have so many different versions. They have the rock version, they have the snorkeled version and whatnot, which is really cool. And that's in their sportier, the X3, right? It's all the X3 platform.
Yeah.
And then now I know that, with that's kind of cool. They're not really as powerful and as fast as the X3s, the Rangers.
yeah.
But they do have that water version,
Right.
to go bogging, and it sounds like they're pretty good.
We'll have to try that out when you come to Michigan.
I want to do everything when we go there.
It's a
I'm
different
down.
experience underwater.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, is this okay? Is this okay?
You
Water
feel
coming over the
vulnerable
dash?
to
Yeah.
to critters and spiders.
Fish mostly.
Possibly fish, okay.
In Michigan.
Just watch out for the white stripes on the spiders. If you don't see that, you're golden.
Had a stripe. Anyway.
And sis, now when I think about you, I think about a lot of the videos I saw is you were driving a lot. I think it was the RS1. I had the impression that you drove that one. Is that one that you drive a lot or no? Or that was like kind of passed around? That one's been passed
The
around?
RS1 is like, so the RS1 was actually the first ever demo unit we got from any manufacturer.
Right. So they gave it to you.
There's a story
Sorta.
brewing here. You got to tell the story.
This is a great story.
Yeah, I want to hear.
We'll go through that. Okay. Very first demo we ever get from an OEM company. We're very excited about it. During this time, we used to pretty much, test all of our stuff when we used to be at Doug's dad's property. Like, that was like, the battleground,
Yeah.
we called it.
Yeah.
So we had this little track set up and a whole bunch of, other stuff going on there. We get this car, take it off the trailer, pretty much immediately realize it's the best machine ever. Like, you can ride it like you could push it as hard as you absolutely wanted to.
The RS1.
Yeah, the RS1.
I completely agree.
Like,
Yeah.
it's so much fun.
Yeah.
You're right in the center. You see the tires. You know what they're doing.
It's an F1.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, of the Razor world.
Yeah.
The side by side.
So we spend probably 3 hours just ripping the shit out of this car. It's all done. Leo's, man, I think it was done. I don't know. Either way, Leo's in the car, comes around a corner, puts it on 2 wheels, and kind of rides it out a little bit. Like, dang.
I was on the fucking moon when that happened.
Oh, like, dude.
I was so jacked.
Yeah.
We're talking about how good this car is, all this stuff, and I'm like, I could get this sucker on 2 wheels, no problem. So I get in the car, Leo says to me,
because you've done that a lot in the past.
Hell no. Absolutely not.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose. Yeah, not on purpose.
Okay.
Leo tells me. So we have this tree. For some reason, this tree is it's just part of our corner on our course, right? So the tree it's a staple of the course. Tells me, go into this corner, tap the brakes, trail brake, get the back end to come out, accelerate, ride the wheels out. I do that to a T, except way too fast. Roll the shit out of it. Okay?
Was this on a video?
Unfortunately, it wasn't in a video, but we have it on a video.
Can I get that video?
The video might be out somewhere. I don't know
somewhere?
if it made it to the internet or not.
Him actually? No, I think it maybe
Okay.
did. I don't remember.
It was
Either
a
way,
decent rollover.
we're talking within 4 hours. We fucked this car up. Cage is bent. All the plastics are bent. Bent
shit.
the A-arm, but I think both the front and rear axles were broken. And this is like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Kind of freaking out.
We were fucking broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like every dollar we've made up to that point was going into fixing this machine.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
this
we
was
were
a
scared
big
to
deal.
tell him. Like, what do we
Oh, it was
do
a
we
demo.
tell
Yeah.
him?
Was this like
fucked up
pre
the
them being for sale yet? Like that much of a demo, or
No, they were.
It'd
This
been
was
out.
within a few months of them being out.
okay? So you could, okay. Mhm.
But yeah, actually, my personal car is a Turbo S. So like that ride he was talking about, like Polaris brought us out to rip these machines through the desert. Pretty much fell in love with that machine. So it's a 2018 Turbo S.
Yeah.
Fell in love with the machine. Kind of fell in love
And
with
the
Polaris,
overheating,
dude.
the overheating.
This
You
was
like
prior
that part?
to that, dude. This is during these are good days, dude. These are beautiful days. Like this is the best days.
Turbo S guys, they know. They know what
The
I'm
Turbo S
talking
guys know.
about. Yeah.
But it turns out I was like the 5th person in the United States to get a Turbo S. Like in the
Wow.
United States, got one before the Diesel Brothers.
Nice.
And, yeah, that's been my machine ever since. Just
Yeah.
been ripping
So
the shit out of it.
what have you done to it? Like what's going on with it?
Nothing crazy. So I like speed wise, I'm not super into like going.
It's the red one.
fast
It's the
and
red
stuff.
one. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm more into like I really enjoy flying through the sky. Like,
Yes.
taking impacts in my spine is maybe one of my favorite things. I don't know.
I don't get it.
I just remembered swing set just now. I didn't even think about swing set till
Yeah.
just now.
Don't remind
And it
me.
was you flying through the sky, and
And crashing, yeah. On the top. I mean, I made it. I just didn't make it all the way.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Okay? It looked worse than it was. I've
Oh.
taken harder and worse hits.
Every jump at Silver Lake was harder than that you've
Yeah.
landed.
yeah, I remember. Yeah, you had some videos at Silver Lake, man. You guys were launching. Was that the one? Were you launching that one?
Yeah.
And it has what suspension to get to be able to do something like that? That's not stock suspension.
That is not stock suspension.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell anyone to go do what I do in that car with what I have. But the suspension that I have in it is like it's Shock Therapy, a company right here in
They're local here. Yeah, yeah. I've had their
really
stuff.
good dudes, and like they do a very, very good job at doing what you tell them to do, like what you're gonna do. With
How you
the
want
car.
it set up.
Yeah. So it's set up to take big hits, and it does, but still,
Yeah.
don't take big.
That was a very impressive video, man. I that really did stick with me. I remember thinking, what the f- is he doing? Those were big ass jumps, and I don't know if it was just beautiful angles by you or whatever it was, but it was like that. Those look monster, and I've been riding the dunes for a long time. And my group is, we'll bomb, we ride hard, the medium-sized dunes. That's really 99% of what we do is all Glamis. And we'll hit that medium-sized dune, wash 13 and to the hill, and then everything else from there. And, our groups, we're not really breaking from jumping. We're not really launching. I'm probably the biggest idiot of the group, and everybody knows it. Watch my stupid ass. And then I'd never seen any jumps like that. And then now, since we're talking about it, swing set has gotten insane. Is that just me, or has
I
it?
think that's just
that's
recently, man. Yeah.
That's recent, right?
Yeah.
That's just been the launch. Everybody's been just going bonkers out there.
Yeah, I think it caught on Instagram big time. Like a couple.
Yeah,
concerts
social
really
media
big.
blew it up.
And because I mean, we knew about swing set, but maybe just the wind set the jump up better
I think it
last
changed,
year.
Yeah. Those dunes definitely move a lot.
Yeah.
And they'll change. And then when we got there, I couldn't believe what an angle it was when we got there, and it was kind of crazy. And that was with the one kid that came up that impressed me with his full race suit.
Yeah.
So I just immediately assumed that he was a professional racer.
Correct.
I don't know what he was, but the group I realized is fucking crazy. I don't even know if you guys know who that group was.
Yeah, that was RJ Anderson's.
Oh yeah, it was RJ's crew.
Yeah, he's like the golden boy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. He had all those badass videos back in the day. Got us all really hooked on. Those were really big videos. And then the kid came over and he wanted Cletus to go with him. And then again, I shucked him off to the side. I said, I'll go ahead and do it. Nobody else raised their hand. Nobody at all. Except me.
Yeah,
Like,
thinking back on that. That was interesting.
I don't think so, Vela. I don't know you.
Yeah, I was like, well, he has a nice racing suit on. He must. Like he was ordered off Amazon or
the
some
whole
shit.
car was in a wrap. Like that was a sign.
Yeah.
He could have tricked you. He
Yeah.
took you all the way into freaking Mexico for all we knew, dude. Yeah, I'll get in there with you. Let's see what we're
Sure.
doing, dude.
Yeah, so that was one of the bigger jumps I've ever done, and just balls out and did it. My kind of crunched the rib a little bit on it. So then JH when he launched and you jumped in line with Cletus. He did a pretty good one, but yeah, yours compressioned out pretty hard. It was and we
here's the
love
deal with
busting
that
your
jump.
balls about it too.
Yeah, felt really great landing on the top of that hill, compressing my spinal cord.
Yeah,
and everyone coming up. Oh, you cased it.
I think we're
No
hitting
shit.
at 50.
No
What was
shit,
the
I just
speed?
fucking cased it.
No shit. We all
Get
saw
out
it.
of here.
I think it was like 50, 55 or something. It was a decent
That
speed.
kid, so the dude who took you, he goes, 45, that's all you need. You got 45, you'll make it right up there.
No.
And I'm
no.
like, so I'm thinking of him, and then JH tells me, I was around 50 or something like that. I'm like, so I'm kind of gauging. So like, I've jumped a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I kind of know how the dunes work. Our dunes, okay? Like looking at this jump, everything in my mind saying, this is a bad jump, dude.
Super bad.
Yeah, it was
It's
really
it's-
angled.
It's actually angled
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
like you're hitting it to the right. You're landing at an angle, right? So of course, peer pressure will get you. Freaking Leo always talks me into things. Usually he'll talk. I don't want to do things. He talks me into them. They usually work out. That one was not his fault. But so I'm listening to these guys telling me, all right, 45, 50, okay. So hit it 45, 50. Turns out it's very short. Okay. Later on, Jay.
It was shockingly short of
It
how
was
fast you hit it.
super short.
I wonder if your suspension just ate up a lot of your momentum or something.
Freaking JH comes up to me later on. Dude, I looked at the GoPro. I was going 57.
Son of a bitch.
That was
Minor
that was
miscalculation.
my fault. But either way, that's
Major
not the
problem
point.
with that jump compared to what we're used to, like at home, is like there's no inching up to that one.
Yeah.
Like you have to have.
Oh, you're going
balls
out.
field.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And it's
too,
either
yeah.
full send or no send.
Yeah,
like
you had
at
to
home,
clear it.
Yeah, Silver Lake. I mean, you can ramp up. Okay, start at 45 miles an hour, see how the car reacts.
Mm-hmm.
Add a couple miles an hour to it, see what it's going to do. This one, I mean, if you're not hitting it fast enough, that's what happens.
Yeah.
You just-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
we
such an
do-
oddball jump
yeah, it
too.
was. Like-
People don't realize that from the internet.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not a good setup. It's not a good landing. It's not a good take. Like, there's nothing good about it.
Yeah.
It's just a shit jump.
Yeah.
honestly.
And
But
then
it
one
looks
kid,
cool. It
didn't that
looks
one
cute.
kid that was in our camp? What was his name? The real young kid. who
Oh,
jumped through-
Ruslan.
Ruslan.
Yeah. He jumped it. I think he wrecked pretty good out there, but then he rode it out. I think he rolled it
Rolled
back
it and then
onto the
rode it
wheels.
out.
Yeah.
That boy is fearless. He is a
Yeah,
good
I like
boy.
that kid.
Yeah, he's a good-
I'd have him on here for sure. Just talking. He's gonna definitely take off.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
kid. So I'm just trying to think of some other funny stuff that happened out there at the dunes. I rolled. That was stupid, and then I blew my engine up. And that's actually how we got to the point where I've been talking a lot with Rick about just the rebuild. Let's fucking go for it. I mean, I might have been able to. Well, I was out of warranty. People, I think there's 6 months factory. I'd never blown up a factory stock engine. I have the XP Pro, and when they ask you for insurance and all that shit, it's this sucker insurance for me for the main drive line because I knew I wasn't going to modify it, and I did just a slight tip over, roll over to the side. idle for maybe a second, nothing really, and then shut it down, tipped it back over, let the fluids re-drain like you're supposed to, waited probably 15 minutes or so, and then fired it up. You had your typical white smoke, and then rode kind of hard. Well, I had the clutch cover off, so I could hear a little knocking after that, and I thought maybe it's just clutch noise more, because the clutch cover was off. Oh, because my this is a good one for guys that are really big riders. My ice chest dumped into my air to the clutch housing, the vent pipe, and then it poured all the way in. And I remember trying to go, and it was just slipping. Pulled the clutch cover. That's why I did. And then it just drained out all the water. It all came from my ice chest.
I didn't know that.
crazy.
Yeah. So it was like perfectly in there from the ice chest.
That's a bad deal. Dude.
Yeah. And then I thought, okay, now that's good. And the guy was with us, keep punching. I'm like, nah, it feels like it's slipping. I don't think that's the right thing to do. Pull the clutch cover and dumps out water. And then it kind of had a little sound to it. And I rode pretty hard. And I remember that day we rode from our camp all the way to the hill, and then we went we were bombing all the way up towards Gecko, all the way up there, and then went up to there and ate at that little area up there, and then I was bombing back, and then we were at the hill messing around and bogged up on a hill doing nothing really, probably 6,000-7,000 RPM maybe, and then boom, it blew. It just blew a hole right out the bottom of the case, and it's been on the trailer really ever since. I really have not pulled it off the trailer.
Yeah, that was a worst case situation deal. We were talking about it yesterday. Like, pitch blackout at night. There was a ton of wind, so there's
that was a crazy
sand
wind
blowing
night,
everywhere, trying to get that thing towed back to camp. Like, that was not good.
So now that's really what also again brought us together is that we've been ordering up some dope ass parts, and I was that'll kind of prelude me into some of the other guys. I'm a nobody that you're building for, and especially when we're getting started, it was just like I just wanted to give business to you guys because I liked you, and I thought that's kind of cool, have you guys do it. And even though I got to ship it up to Michigan, who gives a shit? I want you guys to do it. And as I'm watching your channel and stuff, then all of a sudden Danny Duncan pops up, and he's got a very similar ride. Was that the one that he wrecked? Was it already wrecked a little bit, or that you guys had rolled over, or was that a different one?
It was that one.
Yeah, you had the video where you guys, it was all set up, but you guys like rolled it or something out in front. But was it already rolled or already wrecked?
Yeah, it was already wrecked, and it was pretty fucked when we got it.
I think someone honestly crashed into a wall. It was something
Shocker.
crazy.
Yeah,
It was fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, Danny Duncan for real. He for real goes balls out. I mean, there's no bullshit in that. And then you guys had his ride. How did that come about? Was that at the Freedom 500 or one of them where you guys met him?
Did you meet him there?
I like to stay on top of so I like Danny Duncan, watch his videos for a long time, think he's hilarious, think he's deep down a good guy, whatever. And I saw he posted this video saying the best thing I ever bought. And it was this Razor, this 4-seat XP 1000. And within an hour of him posting it, I commented, hit me up, let's make your Razor badass or something. Yeah. And it got 7,000 likes. It was the top comment on the video. And I was like, oh shit, this is crazy. And he never responded. And a lot of time he responds to the top comments, and he didn't respond. And then somehow through someone, maybe it was Instagram or something, he reached out to us, and we just happened to be linking up at the Freedom 500. And so he came in like a bat out of hell at the Freedom 500, had his I-8 all over. He's throwing Diet Pepsi or Diet Coke, wherever the hell he throws. And just at the end of the night, we were crossing paths, and I said, hey, let's, I just, put my balls out to the wind there and said, hey, I've been talking to you on Instagram. Let's get this Razor going. And then unbeknownst to us, he had bought a Pro XP as well, which is, has way more potential than an XP 1000 for the build. So,
that's how it worked out. And then you started talking after that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him there. I was just hanging out, and I remember seeing him. And I'm like, who's this fucking guy? These kids, fucking Fetz Luck. And really, every time I look at that shirt, it's let's fuck. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly all I see. And then the other one was Virginity Rocks. I'm like, this fucking kid. What the fuck? This is what people are watching, And then Garrett is like, no, you got to watch this shit. So, when we got back from there, I started watching. So I was like, oh. And what I really like about him is that he does this, he's unfiltered, and I can appreciate that, obviously. And I was like, that's kind of cool that he's just kind of throwing it out there and just doing what the hell he wants. And everybody's like, oh, he's demonetized all the time. He puts all these. He had a Shania Twain like song, I think, when he was doing one of the razors, and I was like, "There's no way he got approval for that." You know, maybe he got deep connections, and so then, I just remember seeing that was my first impression. Like these fucking kids, you know, I would have never thought twice about them unless like somebody, you know, Garrett told me about his videos and stuff. So I was just really proud of you guys that you guys, you know, got that build. I mean, that was a big build, and maybe the impact wasn't insane at the time, but I just think over time that's really setting in with a lot of viewers that he has, and it doesn't take the majority of them to be a side-by-side guy or girl to see that video, then go, oh, let's start checking out the side-by-side stuff too. So no matter what, I mean, it was a brilliant move on your guys' part to do that. Now, talking about brilliant moves, I was scared for my friend Zeus when you got in the fucking razor with them. I was like, dude, like I'm all for this. Let's make the fucking content. Let's just do some stupid shit. Let's jump the fucking thing with the guy in a fucking stupid suit out the dunes. And then this dude jumps in there. I was seriously, if you could have had me on a monitor, it would all spike because I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Because I hadn't talked to you, so I didn't know how it would have turned out. I'm definitely thinking you're gonna roll. And then he went balls out with you, dude.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't fucking around.
We unveiled the car. He goes, let's go rip this thing. And then I'm just
it was literally
nobody's saying
Uncle
nothing.
Chet's not there, so you stepped up.
Like no one's saying nothing. I'm like, motherfucker, dude. I have to get it. I have to be the one to get in this freaking thing.
Yeah, there was like a 2-minute lull where Danny's in the car and he's looking around like,
where everyone,
when are you guys gonna get in? I immediately, I was like, I can't fit. I don't fit. My head will hit. Sorry.
I love it. He just bails on you, bro. And then
at one point he goes, so are you gonna get in there?
So it's gonna be you. Comedy ensues.
The worst part about it, we didn't have goggles. Like this guy's
I remember that too. Yeah.
Like hitting things again, like going back to like all these, you know, instances where I know these are bad ideas and it's not a good line or this. It's just a wall of dirt and he just fucking slams into it.
Yeah.
The car, thank God, dude. The car, it was like we.
Luckily, it worked over the car.
The car was badass. Like it handled everything just fine. But the dust was the worst part. Like I said, we had no goggles and nothing, dude.
Yeah, and like the jumps that he hits and shit, they're just the worst kickers. They're like literally ass kickers. Every time I see them, like I cringe because they're just kickers. And maybe he hits them with his dirt bike, and you can do a lot with a dirt bike over a shit jump. But those, you're in the air, you're really at the mercy, and you got little throttle, but that's really it. And then hopefully you got good suspension.
I mean, and then the suspension too. You know, we loaded it, so everything was soft, so it was blowing through everything, dude. It was just, it was funny, man.
Dude, he was ripping with you in there. And then I do have to admit though, I was like, man, did they just do the exact build that I want to do? And thank God it wasn't. My build's going to be a little bit bigger, right?
Yeah. So you're going to have like long travel suspension. Yours is going to be a 72-inch wide machine. His is stock with 64.
You guys hear that? His is just stock or suspension. Uncle Chet's going to have a better ride.
And you're going to have a ton more power. He didn't need any more power.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting worked over on the power. So I could fuck him up on that too, right?
Big time.
Okay, just want to make sure. Just want to make sure.
Those cars too, like those new pros, man, like they're so badass.
Fucking beast mode. You guys had the big turbo?
We could do with, with your card.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm so excited about it. Like I had one done. I had a Turbo S done, the old overheater. The old green overheater I had. I ended up rolling that out in the dirt. Man, that was not fun at all.
Probably.
Huh?
That's probably from overheating.
It was an overheating problem. Like all the problems when nothing gets done these days, it's all COVID's fault. Yeah. The overheating on the Turbo S's is why I rolled it for sure.
It's COVID too.
Yeah, now it's COVID. We could just throw it back. Thanks, Obama.
Things putting off some heat.
Yeah.
Putting off a lot of heat.
Things put off a lot of heat out here in Arizona. A lot of heat off the carriages. So I'm really excited about that, and that you guys came down here and to pick it up and do it better than Danny Duncan's.
It's going to be a real solid machine, man. I think you're really going to like it. So we work with pretty much, the same companies each time we do a build, just because we've established really good relationships with them, and we obviously like their product. So we've used enough of this stuff to know what the top-notch stuff is. So we're really excited to get that stuff put on yours.
I was talking, I think, with Leo about, where when I think about like the parts and all that stuff, maybe creating parts, there's a TMW out here, there's Brick City. That's the first time I've gone with a different cage. That cage is fucking sick. Yeah. You guys got to check out their cages. Like the bends and everything in it just look amazing. It looks super stout. I know it's super stout by, just talking to them and knowing the owner and seeing, what they can do. So I feel very good. When you want to build a crazy ass ride, you gotta do the cage. I mean, that's the number one safety thing. You gotta put in better harnesses, better seats. Don't fuck around with that stuff. I've always been a big proponent of modify a little, but like the stock is better, because for reliability of the average guy, cage, seats, harnesses, maybe suspension, all that stuff. But I grew up, don't touch the motor. Yeah. Don't touch the motor. You could touch the motor if you want to have that long arm Banshee over on the corner, or you jack up your Raptor, your 450, but you got to have your regular ride as well, but these are so damn expensive, so a lot of people, I would just always say, just keep that motor stock, keep the driveline stock, and then mess around with the suspension and stuff, because that'll take us to the next level. And that kind of preludes me into, if you guys were going to give a suggestion, is that kind of along the line of like the average guy that could maybe do a few upgrades, to their side-by-side, what would you guys recommend? Like just off the top.
For me, it's always the single biggest thing is safety, right? Because these machines have such a potential, especially now. These new machines are fucking incredible.
Yeah, they are pretty badass.
So you need safety, whether it's harnesses, if your machine just has like a 2-point, 3-point style, or a cage.
What do you think of those that they put in there? Like, okay, let's talk about a Razor. I know those real well. I know that the cages look like, what they feel like, what they're like when they roll. And I also know what the harnesses, they seem to have got better, but they're still kind of, they look really good, but I don't know how well they are on a real violent rollover.
Right.
So what would you guys, say about like when they come factory? Is that something that they're getting better at, or is that something that you still would say that's something you want to probably swap out? Even in the Razors.
It depends so much. So these companies aren't dumb, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, every company has a standard that they want to meet in terms of safety. And the biggest thing is making sure that the dumbest person that can be in the machine understands how to operate the belts properly. That's why you have that's why you have a seatbelt strap.
And they restrict how fast you can go.
Yeah.
You have to have them buckled in now.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's really important. And I think, speaking to the enthusiasts out there, they already know harnesses are the best option. Yeah. But if maybe you don't know, or you want to get into it and you want to retain the ability to move around in the seat, you're going to have the factory harnesses. Mm-hmm. But actual real racing harnesses are so important.
Yeah. So seat harnesses?
Yeah.
Those are good upgrades?
Yeah, seat harnesses and cage. Like that's stuff that's lacking the most in these machines, because it's expensive.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yeah, I was in a pretty violent rollover with my green one, and I always was happy that TMW makes a solid cage, and I was like, and I bent it pretty good and sheared it off at the bolts on the A pillar, and I was like, damn, that was a pretty good hit, and bent even in the rear, A, B, C post, I guess that's what you call it, towards the back, and it crumpled it in a little bit, enough to, make it noticeable. And I was just always so glad that I had that, not the factory, because I don't know what that would have done in that violent of a 60-mile-an-hour rollover in the dirt out in the desert, So that's good to know. So more of a safety thing, so seats and harnesses, if that's going to be. So then, from there, would it be, well, what do you think about like the rims and the tire setups and all that? What about like, I guess it comes down to the different manufacturer and what Razor to X3 on the size of the paddles and whatnot. Because I was thinking bigger, small paddles, and bigger, deeper, more paddles, less paddles. But I guess it all kind of comes down to that ride, and wait for people to R&D them before you make your decision.
Yeah, it's so specific. I think Polaris has really set the bar on good wheel and tire setups out of the factory. Can-Am came out with bead locks, but they leak at low pressure. Pretty useless. Wow. Yeah. But like the Turbo S, when it came out, it had good 8-ply tires on it and 32s, and those were strong.
Yeah, the dirt tires. Yeah. I was thinking dunes.
Oh, okay, dune tire. I mean, dude, there's so many options. It's so tough. Variables.
I always say, like, just when you get the new ride that has a new whatever, our group always is like, we'll just throw on some paddles, whatever will fit right now, and just deal with it for that first time out. And then we'll start waiting for the forums and whatnot, or what you guys say of like the right paddle setup for that particular XP Pro, for example. I wasn't going to jump right away into something, whatever. I was waiting to see what you guys were running. Do you guys ever take a time out and talk about that stuff? Like when you go out there, like, hey, this is what we have found to be the best setup for this power and this ride.
The companies we're working with, I mean, they seem to have it down to a science. The paddle count and width based off of the horsepower level of.
There's a huge variation.
So,
yeah,
it's pretty much if you know how much power your machine makes, you can make an educated purchase.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah, I've always just I'm not that deep in that world. I've got to wait to have people tell me on the paddle selection, especially, and the front paddles that have weird designs now, if those are good or not. I find like the ones that have a little tread on the front, because I like to run a 4. Just it's a safer feeling for me. But I have a group, my whole group, they run in 2 everywhere because they like to slide, they like to get loose. Right. But I love that little extra grip. I'll deal with the weight on that. And for dunes, it's always, again, the weight thing I just mentioned, weight has always been a big deal, right? At the dunes too. You come out there, the big spare tires and shit, it's like, just go, you got to go light. You got to go light out there.
Yeah. Especially out west, the sand out here is, it's so light compared to back home. Like at home, it's like play box wet sand.
Oh yeah. It's real thick.
Yeah. Out here, some areas you can step in the dunes and you'll sink up to your,
lose your shoe.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, awesome. I didn't have a lot of that stuff. I'm glad we kind of ran into that. I wasn't thinking about that, but I'm glad we really talked about that for the real side-by-side fans to kind of go deeper into the rides and what you guys use and, that whole world. Let me just take a look here. I was curious, how did you guys meet Cletus? How did that all come about? Do you remember when you... Got linked up?
That's just another YouTube thing, man. Like, he actually commented on one of our videos saying he wants to rip. Mm-hmm. And
did he have one already?
Yeah, so he didn't really show it a lot. He had a original OG style Maverick, like the whatever it is, 13 to 17 or 18, whenever they made them. And he wanted an X3. And so I forget how we linked up. Maybe it was text or maybe it was Instagram or Facebook messaging or something, but like that was to the point where we knew we needed collaborative efforts to continue exposing the automotive community to side-by-sides because the automotive community is so big on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And exposing the side-by-sides to that community was going to be beneficial for us, like a long-term, forward-looking, kind of same deal with Danny Duncan. Mm-hmm. And so he commented, and turns out he just bought an X3 from our local dealer. And we built it
up in Michigan.
Yeah,
random.
Yeah, we built it up and then drug it out to California and showed him, and that's all on video.
Was that the green one?
Yeah,
that was the start of the green ones. Yeah, that's cool. I always thought that was a brilliant move. That was the first time I realized like the collaboration thing when you guys did that, and I was kind of new. I wasn't watching YouTube much. Cletus was like the only thing I really watched, and that was an interesting thing. I was like, oh yeah. And then my gears started turning about that collaboration thing was a brilliant move, and we all know that's Cletus's wheelhouse now. The collaboration with the Freedom 500 and the Freedom Factory and bringing everybody in, and you guys have been participating in that stuff, and it's been awesome to see. Yeah. Do you guys have any real quick? Do you guys have any future builds that are coming down the pipe that some of the guys might want to leak out?
I'm trying to think, man. So we talked a lot after these machines blew up in Florida. We talked a lot about just all getting new machines. Mm-hmm. And so recently Doug bought a Pro XP that we got some pretty crazy ideas for.
Yeah.
That I think they're going to surprise people.
Sweet. Like engine upgrades, suspension.
Basically just the theme of the machine. Like it's
I'm excited.
It's really funny. It's different.
All right. And we really didn't talk about Jurassic Park at all. It's not. I mean, I guess more of a Doug thing when I think about it, because he was always the test dummy jumping into that fucking thing.
He
Goddamn
built it,
monster.
you know? Yeah.
Again, it's kind of a collab with the automotive world with the 2JZ, right? Is that what it is? And then you guys boosted the fuck out of it, and then blew it the fuck up.
Yeah.
And then I remember just the pain I felt when you're like, we just spent a shit ton of money on this billet block, you know, you're building that thing out. But I loved it the entire time. I mean, just the clickbait alone with that fucking thing. I want you guys to do more road events.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to keep pushing you guys to do those. But that thing has just been, it's been gold for you guys. It's super expensive.
Yeah.
That thing's just a fucking monster to be around. I mean, people, if you guys are out there and you ever like come across it, just hang out for one rip with that fucking thing. Yeah. It's just a whole other animal that I never even knew could exist. You know, I love that thing.
I mean, it didn't exist until
it didn't.
A few short months ago.
yeah. That describe that one. That was a 4-seater.
Yeah, so it was an original 2019 4-seater that we got from Polaris at King of the Hammers as a demo. They shipped it out to us. I'm in Doug's garage. We have no idea what the fuck we're gonna do with this 4-seater. What's on Doug's TV in Doug's garage? Fucking Jurassic Park. the Ford Explorer. I said, dude, we need to make this a Jurassic Park themed car. So went out, got the Ford Explorer wheels, talked to a guy that does the wraps, talked to another guy who does paint local, did a paint match on the red cage to like the interior red parts of the thing. Got these adapters from eBay to put Ford wheels on, got the wheels painted, got BFGs that are similar to the Ford Explorer, and put all this effort into this thing. And then we revealed it with like this Jurassic Park intro kind of theme to the machine. And me and Doug's now wife made like this stupid Jurassic Park song, and the fucking video got demonetized because of
the knockoff Jurassic Park music.
It was just too good. And because of that, it was like during that time, it was one of our lowest viewed videos. It was our most produced video by 10 times.
Like we
Thanks,
recreated the like one of the main scenes in Jurassic. Like we recreated it. We all dressed up like
Nick was Jeff Goldblum.
it was like a serious thing. We spent all friggin' day shooting it, and we saw it.
It just farted in the wind.
Yeah, just a fart in the wind.
So bad.
I was like, where the fuck did this thing come from? What the fuck? I remember just seeing it was on the channel. I was like, what the fuck is this thing with a fucking Explorer rim? But I wasn't a big, I'll tell you, I wasn't a big fan. But when you guys fucking transplanted that fucking monster engine in there, and I loved like watching you guys just fumble through boosting a fucking normal 2JZ to the fucking moon, and then it blew up, which I did hurt for me. It hurt for you guys. But I saw the potential of you guys ripping that fucking thing. I think that's really when I noticed Rick's comments coming into play. You were hanging around a lot, and I was just like, what the fuck is Rick doing? What?
I asked myself the same question. I don't know a lot of the time.
Like that's when you appeared for me, was those ones. And just you're like, here we are, we're gonna be doing this today. And your whole tempo just caught my eye. It was pretty funny.
Interesting personality. I'll be the first one to tell you. Got an acquired taste. Is what it is, you know?
It's still a little sour for me. But.
Yeah, it hits your palate weird every time, but
I love it.
You just got to drink it down.
Yeah. So the thing about the 2J machine is, I mean, it makes 1,100 horsepower to the tire. So it's 2JZ, Power Glide trans, 9-inch.
I love that as a Power Glide. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, fast and faster, 2-speed. Baby. So we get a lot of comments with people, you know, asking us, "Oh, when are you gonna, you know, paint this thing, or when are you gonna take that Jurassic Park wrap off?" It's so stupid, you know. It's basically for us the equivalent of, you know, having a shitbox car that just goes and destroys every other car out there. It's just the biggest FU to anybody that's
so obnoxious.
You're gonna lose to a car that's wrapped with a dinosaur on the side of it? I'm serious?
I agree. I love it. I was out of Cleveland Cars, and I remember looking at it, and the tires were smoking. You had some BFGs or something on it, and the tires were smoking, but not because of the tires moving. The fucking rims were smoking on the inside of the bead.
Yeah, Doug popped the tire off with a little wall tap.
That was pretty impressive. I hadn't seen that much smoke coming from a bead.
It was crazy.
That rim's
That
cooked.
thing's yeah. You cooked it all. Cooked those. Yeah. You definitely need to bead lock the fuck out of that thing.
Yeah.
It's amazing if you guys see some videos of it on the track and launching. It still has the stock suspension, which is insane, and Doug ripping down the track with that thing is just always a pure entertainment. You never know what's really going to happen, and at the end of the day, that thing fucking rips. What's the it can really only run an 1/8 mile good. I mean, the quarter mile, it seems like you have to let off, don't you? Or can you run a full quarter?
He's letting off for his life.
Yeah, it's really to the moon.
I mean, it could go. I think it's geared for like roughly 185,
Right.
and it's been 166 in the
Jesus
quarter.
Fuck.
There was like an 814 was our last best ET, but like
8:14 in the quarter.
yeah, 814.
Well, what top speed did he have to let off at the end?
66.
He pedaled it at the end because it was getting squirrely, but 166, and so that's fucking fast. But like
Yeah.
people don't actually realize it's a full-on razor. There's nothing
Yeah, I
in the
know.
front to save him. If he spins out and hits the wall or something, the dude's done for. And I get so stressed out just watching my boy, who like I know if he gets fucked up, like
what's
this-
really going to
this is
play
be
out?
really bad.
Yeah.
And so I'm stressed out. I know he's stressed out, but he puts on a great demeanor the whole time. He goes out, he does it, but like
It really needs like a full. It really needs a full drag cage of certified
Yeah.
style, top to bottom, all the way through, down through the chassis, everything. I mean, it really needs that now. It's such a fucking, it's a circus freak, but it's
fast.
got so much potential. I think that was kind of probably what has held you back from doing Rocky Mountain Race Week, which I've been really wanting you guys to do.
Yeah.
Which I think the fans would it would blow their minds seeing that thing just driving in the Great Plains of fucking America.
I know.
And then just, towing some ridiculous thing that you guys could create, as your trailer. And I just love the thought of it. So if you guys ever really throw down on that cage and the safety of it and could get it, fairly drag legal, that'd be pretty awesome to see. I would love to see that as a fan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've received a lot of comments from people who are supposedly smarter than us. They refer to it as
Always smarter.
Yeah, so they say it's that's a full tube chassis drag car. Well, I mean, yeah, Polaris makes tubes, turns out. So it's a factory Turbo S, frame.
For 180 horsepower
Yeah,
fucking off-road vehicles.
Yeah, factory Turbo S suspension. I mean, it has factory springs on it, factory arms. Pretty much everything is factory.
front
I mean,
brakes, factory.
Yeah.
It has a motor plate that we welded in.
Yeah.
To mount the engine. That's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
That thing is, it's a whole nother level. It really is a circus freak for real.
It is.
It really is. You think about it, it is like a lab created fucking dinosaur that's just fucking this whole other thing that, you brought to life. And I respect shit like that. I love the freaks out there. And I don't think it gets enough views. I've always been shocked like that you are not, 1 million views on shit like that. But, with time, you guys have been grinding for a long fucking time. It's going to get there, get that 1 million view video. And I know that's going to be probably something with that. Hopefully it's not at Doug's demise. And it's just something crazy, with that Jurassic Park ride. So I also, real quick too, I'm looking at these here. I'm thinking what are your favorite videos? Just I'll start with Rick. You have a thought of like one of your favorite videos that stands out? Probably one that you were in.
Hopefully.
One that he made some good jokes.
It's really weird for
One-liners.
me. I don't know if it's just the beginning of the demise of my memory, but there's often times where people will like tell me I did something in a video and I just don't even remember
Right. That's
doing
just
it.
Rick being
So,
Rick.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to keep track of. I mean, I really have fun pretty much every time we go out. So I don't know if I can necessarily say there was a favorite video for me. But the first time we went down to Florida for the first Cletus and Cars, like, we were all like really
Amped.
jacked up,
Yeah.
and amped to go down there and put on a show. And when me and Nick were filming, it was Leo and Doug out on the burnout pad doing a dual burnout with his X3 and Doug's YXZ.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
People were just going nuts, loving
Yeah,
it.
that's
Like
cool.
we were so hyped. We had so much energy. That was one of my favorite trips, one of my favorite events. So I really enjoyed that.
That's cool. What about you, Seuss?
It's a tough one there, man.
Really?
There's a lot of really great memories. I don't know if I could put it down to one video. Maybe our Baja trips. Like those are always fun to watch back and realize that we actually did that.
Yeah. Those were
Was it-
the stories you're telling me about the Baja stuff is kind of crazy.
Yeah, those were super crazy. And then just not a lot of people get to do that. We're pretty proud that we got to do that.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Or pretty much any video from Las Vegas usually turns out to be a pretty fun video.
Most of the
Well, he is a degenerate gambler like your boy. That's all right. We have a little bond there. Yeah, he loves the Vegas.
Those are
He
usually
loves the
pretty
casino.
funny videos.
But yeah, that's cool. And I know what will be one of your top videos that you always like.
Yeah, I hate to crib off Nick, but right when you said that, immediately what came to my mind was the first time we went to Baja with this guy Shane, crazy dude, awesome guy. But it was this like just me, Doug, and Nick all going to Cabo, and then making our way to Cabo, but just kind of experiencing Baja California for what it is. And it was just this nice, highly edited video of us traveling, whatever, meeting Shane for the first time, going out and pre-running part of the course, which was crazy. Actually, that might have been the second Baja trip. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just it's a fun video, and it's just one of those ones where you kind of like put your heart and soul into like the camaraderie aspect of it.
Yeah.
And, use good transitional video and like good, cool, fun, friendly moments. And it just fucking flopped.
Yeah.
But still, it's one that I go back to and watch quite a bit and, kind of get the feels about.
Well, really, it's a testament to you guys as being genuine good dudes, loving what the fuck you do, and that's like why I'm doing this now is because I've always been this person, and I'm like, oh, fuck it, I'll just film it now and then talk to some cool people and my friends and stuff. And it is a testament because all of you just described not necessarily big hit videos, what I was asking for. It's the experience. You guys have all just described an experience and what was cool to you, and it didn't really matter about the video and how well it did. And I think that's a really cool thing. I think that's what your real fans like, and I think that's what bleeds through is like you're doing it because you fucking love it, and it's really cool. And that's a neat thing. That you guys just described the experiences of it. It didn't matter what the views are.
Right. No.
And I know you got some views that are off the roof. You know what one of your top ones is?
Yeah, I think the first time I took my X3 out that I bought and we did like a tune on it and did a bunch of donuts in the road and tested it out. I think that one just hit 1 million views.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
really?
pretty awesome.
Fantastic.
I
Yeah,
was hovering
like,
that 900,000 for like probably a year and a half.
Yeah.
And finally hit 1 million.
Why do you think it took off?
I don't know, man.
Right, confluence of events and
Just the YouTube beast is essentially impossible to understand what is going to work. So
yeah,
I don't know.
what the algorithm's going to put out there.
Yeah.
I don't think it was necessarily the content. I think it was probably the recommending of it.
Yeah,
Got
whatever in that moment in time, the title and everything made sense, and that was pushed to the top.
Right.
For sure. I don't think I'll ever be pushed to the top with any of my shit because it's not YouTube kosher at all. This
never know.
this stuff easily, and I think that's cool. But I'm definitely going to be on a whole nother thing. YouTube's not going to be my home. That I know that already. So I was going to ask you. So, I was going to ask you out of the three of you. Just some fun questions here as we wrap up. Who's the strongest out of the three of you?
In what way?
Feats of strength.
Oh, Doug will fuck anybody. That guy is
It's Doug.
unbelievable.
Old man strength just comes out of like gorilla strength.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Where it comes from.
Arm wrestling strength, all that.
Yeah, if you want your arm actually broken,
Lift off.
arm wrestling.
Guy loves arm wrestling.
Like,
Literally.
Here's a good story
That's so
about that.
funny.
We're at Cedar Point, America's roller coaster for all you Ohio people out there. Whatever. We go to this bar afterwards with his wife and my wife, and there's literally 5 people in the bar, 4 of us and one guy in a bandana, like these, tinted safety glasses, and a fucking medallion around his neck.
Nice.
And the bartender goes, "Yeah, it's my brother. He just won an arm wrestling competition."
Oh, it was an award.
Yeah, it was a medal from an arm wrestling competition. And I immediately know Doug's a beast. Doug's a beast. So I'm like trying to bait this guy to come over here. So I start like arm wrestling my wife and shit.
Like seeing the arm wrestling thing happen. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh, come on, Doug, arm wrestle me, bro." And he, I don't even try. There's no point in trying. And then, of course, that got the guy's attention. And so the guy's like, "Oh, yeah, I just won, yada, yada." Legit medallion, right? Not a tough-looking dude, but who knows? And Doug arm wrestled the guy and beat him. Like, on the highest.
Amazing.
Yeah. It was
Oh, my
crazy.
God, that's crazy.
And looking back on the video, which is buried somewhere in a phone that broke, like, Doug's form was fucking terrible. Like,
yeah,
he was all
blown
the way out.
wasn't tight.
Yeah, it was so bad and still fucked this guy.
That's crazy.
It was awesome, dude.
That's amazing. That's funny. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, he takes his shirt off and he just has more muscles every time you see him. I don't
What the
understand.
hell's going on?
I keep telling him, I'm like, dude, do you do like what kind of
Got a lot of
secret
potential.
classes are you doing? Like, how do you keep getting bigger? Oh, just do a couple.
I see us all. I see us all eating McDonald's every day, and this guy.
I mean, we force feed him, dude. We put him through the regimen, dude. He doesn't like it.
One last thing we didn't even talk about is what we were up to out here, guys.
Oh yeah.
Like we didn't even talk about all the shit we've been
Yeah.
doing. They're gonna definitely have seen it or see it. I don't know what the sequence of these videos will be, but it was us all at the track, and I took them out. They wanted to come out. I was just like, let's just hang out with me and my world. And I let you guys play with the supercars last time we went out. Just kind of drove to the restaurants and just around town, and that was a lot of fun. You guys were literally like kids in a candy store. You were so excited. It was so genuine, so cool, and that's exactly what I like to do. When people haven't been around them, because I always think, if I was you and I met somebody that had the stuff that I have, I would just hope that somebody would allow me to do that stuff. So that's why I love doing it. I love it. And the joy in your face and what you guys are going through really, keeps me motivated to keep doing what I do. And so I thought when you guys came out, what could we do? We'd go shoot guns, maybe we're going to go on the boat later. We still haven't done that yet because we've been so burned out of going to the track. And I brought you guys out. I kind of set you up a little bit. I said that I got 2 new cars. They haven't been shown yet, and this is really great. Like, what did you think? What did you think,
Dude, I look at you. I see the house. You got like 50 houses across the country, dude. You don't give a shit about anything that is money related. And you're like, yeah, these are just 2 new race cars, or like street cars but converted to race cars.
They originally were road cars.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, dude, fucking Ferrari.
You thought like a challenge cars,
right? Yeah, Ferrari challenge car, right? Maybe we got like a 458. Maybe we got like a Porsche Cup car or something. This guy's crazy, right? It's absolutely that.
Yeah, I can see that now. When you said that, I was like, oh fuck, man, these are the fucking biggest shit boxes of all time. They're literally Lemons cars, and I love them because when you do Lemons races and this endurance racing, it's like you just fall in love with them. And I just knew it was just such a funny thing to like trick you guys into thinking. And I had them under wraps. And when I got there, the Crown Vic ass, I mean, that's a hard ass to hide, no matter what is hidden under. Did you have a sense what that one was? I know, Seuss, maybe, yeah.
I'm like, man, that sure looks like a rear door. I don't know about any fucking
That's a big girl. That's a hogs only, if you will, under that one.
Fucking front bumper on it still. I'm like, yeah, I kind of have an idea what that is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It had the push, it has the grill, the push bar on the front, and the other one. Maybe you guys are like, well, maybe that's the one that's kind of crazy and
that
fun.
one was a mystery. I'm like, man, like what shape is that? Like,
Yeah, it is not what you.
It looked like an RS200.
Yeah, I'm like, how does he even have one of those?
Like, how the fuck did you get an RS200?
What the hell is this? And so yeah, it was just so much fun to like trick you guys, and I really laid it out when we were hanging out for a while before you guys got out there and revealed the shit box, the 96, I don't even know, 96, 97 Eclipse. It's the GS convertible, 140 horsepower. Non-turbo, just super reliable. And it rides on rails. What'd you think of that? What do you guys, so I basically said, you guys got to take these fucking guys out. I'm not a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you take out $600,000 worth of supercars and just go fucking have fun, guys. I gotta vet you a little bit. I always say I look like a fucking moron, but I've done a few things to get me here. One of them is make right choices when I need to. So, like having you guys run the Eclipse in that one. What I know you've been in the Crown Vic stuff, but let's just describe. What did you think of the Eclipse? You know,
I fucking loved it. I loved it. My brother had a GST way back, same gen. It was way faster.
Oh, the GST, yeah, it was the turbo, yeah.
Yeah, it reminded me of that car, and getting in it, it was a driver's car for sure.
Yeah, it's shocking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like how well it corners and how well balanced. I mean, I would tell the guys, like, it'll oversteer. You know, like that's how well balanced it is that the rear end will kick out on a front wheel drive car. Yeah. Well, it's like, I think that to me, that's the best, setup you can have. And it was just by dumb luck. I bought eBay springs for $250, like the coilover that looked like the $2,000 setup. And it has all these adjustments. We spray painted it the color of the cars to get it past the judges, like, because they'll dock you if it's like, if they think that you modified it over. Because I really did spend $500 on that car. It was through a friend, and it was his son's car, and he's like, just want to get rid of it, and it wasn't running. Actually, the story that it wasn't running, and I was like, oh, he wanted $900. I was like, that's a $500 car all day. And I go there and tapped on the starter, started right up. Yep, it was a starter. Yeah. So that's how I got that one. And it has my buddy built the cage. Really, he's a mechanic that never done a cage before, and it's just so high and square and obnoxious. He's 6'4". That's the problem. That's why the seat's so damn low. It's mounted to the floor, and you're literally driving like this. It's a funny seated position. But that one's just amazing. It's a momentum racer, if you will.
Crazy.
And then the other one's the Crown Vic, which you guys have all been in. Big boats. And what did you think of the Crown Vic? Was it a little bit better than the stock ones, at least?
It was surprisingly good. Like, it was like, wow.
Yeah.
This thing friggin' handles really, really well. It was putting the power down.
Yeah.
And then when I drove the Vic first, and then when I got in that Eclipse, I'm like, that Vic is a piece of shit.
Yeah. Oh, well, the tires also had been sitting rotting in the sun for a year and a half after they were blown out after the last race. They literally had not moved. And it was shaking a little bit, wasn't it?
I did, I was following freaking Cheyenne.
Doing a little lead follow.
Yeah, and they were in the two nice cars, and then we were in the freaking ghetto birds, and I was putting in a faster lap, and I'm like, man, this thing feels like this. I think I just blew this tire. Like, I feel like something's not right. We're putting in fast laps. Turns out
all the studs broke off,
broken.
And I literally jacked it up, and the tire goes clunk. It was the most dangerous. I mean, and where you go fast in some of those areas that before you get to turn one up the front, I mean, you would have smashed in the wall. And the shitty part, I always think was like, that's going to be an expensive wreck, not for the car, but how I got to repair the track.
Right.
Didn't care about the safety. I knew you'd be fine in that.
I would have dodged it.
Yeah, she's thick. Yeah. So all said and done, I had you guys all race, and I had you guys all compete and get warmed up for the supercars, and that was a really fun day that we had today. We went back out. We've been fighting the heat out here. It's already a fucking 100 degrees and all that. You guys can watch those videos. But I do have the results here of who was fastest. We did track the time. So you guys ready for it? You guys want to make any guesses of who's the fastest out of the three of you?
Are these in each car?
Huh?
I think it's
each car.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just go in the Crown. Who do you guys think was the fastest in the Crown Vic?
I would say Nick Seuss.
Yeah.
I know. The Crown. I was
now Seuss spun out.
I spun out both laps.
Both laps?
Cheyenne.
Well,
actually, I enter my first lap. I see a tornado in the field. It's not a tornado. It's actually
me.
A Mitsubishi Eclipse.
I told you, if you ain't putting it in the dirt, you ain't trying.
He was spinning out for so long. I made a turn. He was still spinning out.
It was a fucking
Friggin'
good
go
one.
up, come back for the next lap. I'm pushing hard. I spin out, ruin his lap.
Oh my!
Yeah.
He
Then
told me-
your spin out ruined my
He
lap.
told me before, he goes, downshift into the chicane.
Maybe did I say that?
Yeah, you know, I'll downshift into the chicane. I'm like, this guy knows how to drive the car. I downshifted in the chicane. All of a sudden, see ya.
Ass end goes. You were spun for a while,
Yeah.
but all right. So let's jump into that. So, Rick, it was the first time you're out on the track, like that stuff. So you're kind of breaking in. We got Rick with a best time of a 2:18:59. Now that was, you got a lot of room for improvement. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I agree.
He was respecting the car.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Well, with the Eclipse specifically, before the last time I went out, he said, "Oh, if you're not putting it into
The
field,
dirt, you ain't trying."
You ain't trying." I'm like, okay, so I'm going to try this on my last lap. And so I tried, and the car just went through the corner. Like I tried to get it to push into the dirt, and it just hooked.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, I
Holy
feel
shit!
like
There's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
Not so much the Crown Vic.
Yeah.
That's is kind of what you get. I mean, it's got some upgrades, but not many. And between Nick and Seuss, we got Seuss with a 213.9. All right,
Beasting out there.
and we have Nick with a 214.96. So Seuss, you took him in the crown. Yes, you did. You took him in the crown.
Did you get an actual lap?
No.
Yeah, you had one lap in. You had your one lap was good enough.
That was like a soft lap.
Yeah. And
Off lap?
if you guys care what I
was the
if you care what
shut
I
lap.
did, I was having a tough time as well. I had a lot of excuses if Cody puts all those excuses in the videos when I was talking. But I didn't do that much better. I did a 212.5. So it wasn't that much faster in the Crown Vic. So that was a pretty good time. I was really impressed that you guys were that close to where I've driven the car quite a bit, just not on that track.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So then let's jump to the Eclipse, and we have, we have Nick here at a 214.53.
Dang.
So was I faster in the crown?
Let's see here. You barely faster in the Eclipse. Barely.
God, it
Barely.
felt so much better, dude.
Right.
I think on the straight side.
That's a momentum racer,
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah.
You feel great, but I mean, if you're a little off or a little pussyfooting here and there, it'll blow a second or so. I mean, that's
You're
really
not wrong.
because you don't have much power.
Okay.
And then we have between Rick and Seuss on this, and we have Seuss with a 213.4.
Dude.
Wow.
Not
good.
bad. But actually, I just read that wrong. You had a 211.73 on your second lap. Now that I'm
really?
reading it, so you had a 211.73. That's pretty freaking good. And then Rick, I'm really impressed here. You had a 212.15. So your first lap was a 215, and you basically dropped 3 seconds with that confidence and dropped it into a 212. That's
Nice
pretty
work,
impressive.
dude.
Yeah. For a first time out and then trusting that type of a car.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I mean, the tires were shot and hot and blown, and
But still,
that was pretty
they're
good.
Still putting it down, and I feel like those cars too. It's like
Yeah.
if you give them the trust, that'll give it back. To
Oh,
you.
yeah,
Like,
that one
they
for
hooked
sure.
pretty good. Like it was surprisingly good,
Yeah.
unless
Yeah.
you downshift in the chicane.
I remember one of those laps, like I sent it hard into the chicane. I'm like, there's a high probability I'm just gonna end up in
the
Neverland.
dirt, yeah.
And it just bit. And
Yeah, it
made
does.
They're really smooth. So
It really rewards you. That car does.
yeah, I've always liked, like, you can go back and look at some of our videos. Like, I'm a junk car connoisseur. Like,
right.
I love a junk car, especially junk trucks. But I mean, I just have so much fun with it because you just don't have to care. You know,
Yeah.
you just go out, have a good time, and don't worry about it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. That's really what I wanted you guys to experience with those and get these hot laps and not be worrying about, my car, the expensive stuff. I didn't give a shit about those at all. I mean, I wanted you to throw them in the dirt and have fun. So, and I wasn't much faster either on that. I only dropped to 210.7. So I wasn't much faster either. Seuss, you were at that 211. So it was a second faster, So for me being in the car a lot, knowing the track, just not necessarily with that car, you know what I'm saying? So that wasn't much faster. So that was very impressive. You guys did pretty good,
That's
So
awesome.
Fantastic. That was a lot of fun.
Good work.
We were gonna time the supercar stuff. I decided not to. It was just something where I feel like you start to get that confidence, and then next thing you know, you're gonna throw out something expensive that I don't have insurance for out there, and just said, let's just enjoy the day, take the stress off, and just like have fun. Kind of club racing, kind of club running around, and now that you know the track, so that was a lot of fun. We'll cut to those videos, and you guys will be able to see all that stuff, and see how much fun we had. So I think with all that, I mean, we've been going for a little while here. I feel pretty good about it, and I think we'll just kind of wrap up the session here. I would love to have Doug back with you next time, and if Matt wants to chime in at any point.
No, I'm good, man.
No. I love the guy, man. I've been busting his fucking balls. If you don't speak up, I'm gonna slap you in the fucking mouth. Let's go.
Don't do that, please.
Please don't hit me in the mouth. But again, guys, just thank you for coming out. Thank you for always, just being gracious guests. You guys are the perfect people I love to have at the house, that I love to take out on the track, that I love to enjoy my life with in my cars. And you guys are the perfect example of just good dudes out there doing fun stuff, enjoying your work, enjoying your experiences. And, you guys are a bunch of really cool ass dudes, and,
Thanks,
and it's nice to confirm all that and let my viewers see that, and your viewers see it, and probably one of your first interviews, I think, right? Like a first in kind of depth interview.
This is 100% first time.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are going to love it. I think your fans are going to love it and get to know you a little bit better, and I'm sure they're going to screaming through the camera of all the shit I missed that I could have gone over. But you know what? Fuck you guys. You got to tune in more, and maybe we'll have all these guys back on. So thanks again, guys, for tuning in, Chillin' with Chet. That's the episode with the side-by-side guys, and we'll see you again next time. And I'm done.